Good evening, everyone. Hey, Dark Omen. How's it going? We're back for another round of Outer Worlds with our intrepid hero, Bob Ross, who's, you know, out to show you the true beauty of the universe and then beat the devil out of it. Why does this game always give me this weird feedback on the mixer? There we go. Okay. Alright. There we go. I'm doing good. So I've been working on stuff. So, you know, we've got our intrepid hero Bob Ross out here, so
If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your brushes and your paints and paint along with us each show. I think you'll enjoy it.
I set it up. Guy still looks like Pops from regular show. Yeah, I got the app. I'm testing out the free version and kind of figuring out how it works, but yeah. So you know, I can.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
And of course, this is the most important one.
And just beat the devil out of him.
Or this one.
I'll tell you what. Let's have one more.
Alright, so we were looking for, what was it, like neural core of these things? And trying to make the decision on who we're going to cut the power to. What do you have to say?
Yeah.
Thomas seemed very fond of you.
He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda.
I've not lately seen a man with a more obvious bigger crush. Are you sure? He nearly fell over when he saw you. That's all he was thinking was definitely not a wrench.
He never told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about feeling different. And nothing had to get weird.
Feeling
if he
different?
wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him.
Notice you mention your dad a lot, but never your mother. Wait, we've already... Yeah, she says she doesn't know her mother. I'm crazy with sound bites. I've got power now. I need to like rig everything into this though, which I haven't done yet. And I'm doing the free version, so I don't have unlimited buttons. It's like $10 for the non-free version. Might actually be worth it.
Got it. Inside voices. Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
System.
On it. Here they come!
Ow.
I'm on it!
Shoot that one.
Everyone all right?
Engineering, shut off steam release valves. Let's do it. There we go. Laboratory outfit splash resistance. Huh. Workbench. Let's fix this thing. Oh yeah, because look, it's doing a lot less damage right now. Everything else is fine. Oh, this is just how to get around. Kinda like this weapon. Could tinker it. Give it a bit more oomph. Could I mod it with? That's kind of it. You got the pay version. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean it's only $10. Seems like it's pretty good. And I mean what I've got right now is working quite fine.
I'm on it.
Do it. Good job. Ugh. Drug addiction. Oh, I could gain a perk if I did that. Nah. Well, I guess I was supposed to reprogram the bots, but instead I killed them all. Which is practically the same thing. Right. You never got the drug addicted. Well, I have to take a lot of them because I actually have to get in there and fight. I gotta take the hits. This person doesn't have a head. Spaceship. That seems like a problem. Oh yeah, I'm up here. The frightened engineer, return to Thomas. Got that. With all the auto mechanicals in the plant out of commission, there's no need to modify their behavior. So I killed them all. I think this is where I could probably have done it. Yep. Modify behavior. It's already done. New mode. Define intruders. A Spacer's Choice Auto Mechanicals. Well, they're all dead anyway. I killed them all. Or...
Shoot, let's get crazy.
So I don't know what turning these pipes on is doing, but it's doing something. Oh, this is where I came in, because I went down through that door. Oh, because that way was barred. And then I can't get that open.
Once we do this, there's no going back.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
Alright, tell me about it.
I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Reed tells me Edgewater is gonna die without workers in power. Deserters are a community. I can't destroy what they built. Reed tells me Edgewater is going to die without workers in power. I see your point. I think I'm ready to make a decision. Well, the deserters are a community. Just can't destroy what they built.
Miss McDevitt's been using corpses in her fertilizer. The thought just makes my skin crawl. Sure, she's found a solution, but it ain't exactly pleasant. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
I'm glad you did. I like hearing from you. Don't worry about it. It's barely listening to you. Let's get going. Alright, well, I like hearing from you.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
It's a very long conversation. Okay. I mean, you have a point about the deserters. It is a pretty solid point. We could heck up a corporate town, or the thing of it is, everyone has to pay for graves anyway. If you don't pay, Emerald Vale's geothermal plant operating at 22%. Power is currently being distributed to the cannery and botanical laboratory. Make sure I understand things right before I just do this. Warning. High likelihood of moderate severe structural damage. Warning, redirecting power is an irreversible procedure. Continue. I mean, the game obviously really wants me to go for cutting Edgewater's power. At the same time, Pravati is right. There's good people just trying to live their lives. It would destroy a lot of people's lives doing this. Actually, we need to do something first. because if I make a different decision, I may not be welcome back at the geothermal plant, at the botanical gardens. Depending on the decision I make. I've been in here. Really haven't. What is this? Thing's been purged. I had to borrow your copy of Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering. Radio has been sputtering and I needed the reference. I returned the copy to the repair bay. Chaos everywhere, mechanicals gone haywire, gunfire, hearing someone scream, "Oh la, I think that was someone's leg. Would like to leave early for the day. Please deduct delinquency fee from my pay. Thank you. Proud to be a member of Spacer's Choice family." Person has no head. Yeah, I haven't made my decision yet, but depending on the decision I make, like I say, may not. If I end up choosing Edgewater, then I may not be welcome back at the Botanical Gardens, and we've got a quest to turn in there. So maybe I want to do that before I make any decisions. Missed that. So we'll go turn this in real quick and then think about it. Need to go here. Mine. Well, I was gonna see if there was like anything I missed while I was out, like this. See, I find when I don't fast travel, I like miss things. It gives me a chance to kind of like pick them up. Maybe you have something to say about this.
What is it?
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
Oh, you're so in luck. I've found all of them.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
I guess, yeah, you could hand them in one at a time. I found this one at the community center.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. One datapad's enough to guide me down my newfound path. Just remember, I got something saved for you if you find me all three.
Hold on, I've got more.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Part 2, found at the cannery.
Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole datapads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment.
And my reputation with them is going up right now.
Well, don't keep me in suspense.
Alright, the elusive part 3. Someone stashed it at the old geothermal plant.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Electrocharged surface. Ooh, that looks neat.
What's on your mind?
Nothing. So electrocharged surface. Electrocharged surface applies an electrical charge to the armor's exterior, occasionally shocking an attacker that comes in contact with it. We'll hold on to it for now, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Look at this. Free food. So now I'm revered by these folks. So I didn't go in here. Stealing is so easy in this game. Anything else to say? When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These 2 lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
Don't imagine you get a lot of visitors.
My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe. Our lives flicker in and out like the guttering of a flame. Here now, then gone. Me and mine are just carrying on as best we can, trying to live our lives in a way that does not feel wasted.
Until your power cuts out anyway.
I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
Could always continue your way of life back in town. Reed's making an offer in good faith. You should consider it.
If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then you are asking to be lied to.
You and Reed obviously have sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate saltuna? That was all me.
Okay. This is making my decision a lot easier. There's obviously more to it than that, though.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Did you use his corpse? Sounds like the town turned its back on you. I'm guessing Reed has his own side of that story.
I could not possibly care less if he does. But you're surely welcome to ask him.
Okay, we're gonna go ask him. I want to know. White chocolate Saltuna. What the fuck? White chocolate Saltuna. Going back to town. We're gonna, you know, sort this out.
I don't want any trouble.
Esther said she was going to distribute some medicine to those who needed it.
Esther's got medication? How? Did the boss get a new shipment? I'm sorry, it's just I thought we couldn't spare the medicine. Nope, I'm sorry. I can't accept help from Esther. If I deserved treatment, I wouldn't be here.
You're wrong.
Why?
You're not doing yourself any favors punishing yourself like this. I heard the company is looking to promote healthy workers, or because I said so, stop making the damn... So stop moping and taking the damn medicine.
All right, you made your point. If Esther offers to treat me, I won't turn her down.
Okay, good. Also... Still haven't retrieved the logic module. I need to go get that. Means I've missed something inside the
walls today.
Nothing for us outside those walls.
means I missed something. So is my stuff still in here? Just remember I dropped a bunch off? Yeah, it's still in there.
We'll get you mostly drunk at half the price. Spacer's choice.
Felt like
Go
chatting.
ahead.
Been asking around, no one seems to know anything about the Hope.
The Hope? No, I've never mixed a drink by that name. I could get you a rum and something if you like. Wait, no, never mind. We're all out of something.
I'm not talking about a drink, I'm from the Hope myself. Why is it that nobody wants to talk about the Hope? I'm guessing it means you've never heard of anybody from it. Why does nobody ever want to talk about it?
I don't know what fancy bars you've been crawling, but the rest of us make do with Zero G. Zero G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you.
I'm not talking about the drink, I'm from the Hope myself. The Hope's out there somewhere and with hundreds of thousands of other colonists.
Would you keep your voice down? You're gonna get the whole cantina written up. The Hope's folklore, all right? 60, 70-year-old folklore by now. The board don't approve of spreading seditious rumors and falsehoods. You're inviting trouble talking that way, and I don't want a part of it.
You sound scared.
Look, either shut your gob or stick a drink in it. We're done talking about this. Coming right up.
Where's my junk? Sell my junk.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
Constable.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
I haven't been in here either. Hello?
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is writing a promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
Well, I'm looking for work.
Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
Alright, I've also got some questions.
As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
She looks like she never drinks. Just does a lot of drugs. Yeah, that one lady. Well, she's about to be replaced. Does the name Phineas Wells mean anything to you?
His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Looks like there's a bounty on his head. He kidnapped me. That's why I'm asking. Looks like there's a bounty on his head.
You are correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas V. Wells.
If the board's paying, I'm willing to collect that bounty.
Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority.
Alright, so I assumed you were the nearest board authority.
I represent Spacer's Choice. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which is itself a member of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Also, I specialize in processing fingerprints, so unless you're carrying Wells's finger on you, there's not a lot I can do for you.
Alright, well, who do I have to talk to?
Any information regarding outstanding bounties and wanted criminals should be directed to Mr. Udom Bedford. Mr. Bedford's office is located on the Groundbreaker.
What's that?
Halcyon's original colony ship, now repurposed into a space station. Mr. Udom Bedford represents the board's interest on the Groundbreaker. Something else I can do for you? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
So do you work for Spacer's Choice or Edgewater?
If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serves Spacer's Choice.
So who's Spacer's Choice answer to?
Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the Board. I must admit it bothers me that you don't already know this.
So you're basically a bureaucrat.
Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it. Something to report? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity.
Alright. Apparently we've picked up a bounty. Bounty records. All bounties are posted in Edgewater Constabulary have been authorized by Spacer's Choice. View bounties. Wanted. Gil. Former Spacer's Choice Associate Mechanic. Terminated from his position. Spacer's Choice Department of Retirement, Termination, and Restitution has filed writ of execution for Gil Antrim, effective immediately. Some of you may remember Gil Antrim from his days in the cannery. Please be advised that Spacer's Choice no longer recognizes Mr. Antrim as a member of its valued family. Spacer's Choice advises its workers in good standing to remain in good standing by disabusing themselves of any sympathy, allegiance, or memory towards Mr. Antrim. Generous bounty, payment on delivery, must be able to sign your own name. See Constable Rays for details. Doc Mabel. Wanted. Mabel Burgess. Background. Former Spacer's Choice physician. Abandoned her duties and disappeared from Edgewater. At large and considered dangerous. Constable's Memorandum. The Spacer's Choice Department of Retirement, Termination, and Restitution has filed writ of execution of Doc Mabel Burgess, effective immediately. Doc Mabel is wanted for 3 counts of larceny, 2 for each parcel of stolen adrenatime, and 1 for depriving the outpost of its official physician. Generous bounty, payment on delivery. That's okay. Yeah. Bertie Cotton. Background. Former vicar acting on behalf of the Outer Order of Scientific Inquiry, stationed to Edgewater Vicarage. Suffered a psychological breakdown upon showing symptoms of plague, at large and dangerous. Memorandum. The Spacer's Choice Department of Retirement, Termination, and Restitution has filed writ of execution of Bertie Cotton, effective immediately. The Order of Scientific Inquiry has declined a response. Vicar Cotton's sermons are considered defunct and obsolete. Spacer's Choice advises purging them from your memory with the help of Zero G. Zero G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. Generous, okay, yeah. There we go. Yeah, will an X do for a name? She can't see it. Steal. She's watching me. It's a nice double cell. I've never been in
Friend
that.
of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
I know how you feel.
So what other buildings have I missed? So now we've got a bounty to deal with. There's a free shit back here. Hey there.
My offer remains standing should you reconsider.
Give it thought, Rita. Help you. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
You taking a look around your town lately?
It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
Your town's falling to pieces.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
You disagree?
Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
So you're loyal to Spacer's Choice.
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
All right.
I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that. Go ahead.
Right. Makes you think I can convince the deserters to come back. You seem pretty fixed on bringing Adelaide back to town. We need to have a word about this plague.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
Withheld medicine from your town.
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
Let Adelaide's son die.
Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most.
Alright, well, how long has the plague been going on?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
Should have developed immunity after repeated exposure to a single strain of contagion.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude. And it is one we will see through to the end. Go ahead.
Let's see. You seem pretty fixed on bringing her back.
Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible.
Don't you people eat anything other than Saltuna?
Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
Hang on, so what are you canning?
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna.
I'm starting to see where the plague is coming from.
Impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate. Go ahead.
Oh, I can't go back in that trail.
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town.
This is an ugly place to live. Of course people are going to walk away.
Nature is uglier. There is safety here. Safety and purpose. But not all of us see that. And I cannot force that vision upon them. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on. Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Saltuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored Saltuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint.
You some sort of freelancer?
Got my sights on you.
Oh. This decision is actually getting harder. Maybe there's some keys to figure out where exactly this plague comes from.
Somebody's been spinning a tale about a lost colony ship. Talk like that'll get you reported real quick. I paid his burial fees, didn't I? Let the dead sleep.
I found Eugene's teeth. Conrad tells me Eugene wasn't suicide. I found his teeth.
You what? How? Please don't tell me you dug up his corpse.
Water stole the corpse. They were on Adelaine's desk. You'd have done the same. You were planning on selling his teeth.
Hey now, I wasn't planning on eating the poor guy's remains. He wasn't going to use those teeth, and we could have sold him off to help the town. Look, this is going to sound weird, but...
Well, I'm accustomed to weird.
Eugene was a good worker who did his best for us. He deserved better, and his remains deserve better. I'm saying I'd like to buy his teeth. Only if it's not too much to ask. I'm not gonna sell him. I'm not gonna pawn him off. I'll just, I don't know, stick his teeth in an old Spacer's Choice can and leave him in his grave, where they belong.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. I won't forget this.
Except this dentist guy's gonna have a problem now, because he was supposed to get the teeth as an IOU. That's gonna be problematic, isn't it? I don't know what I'm leaning towards, actually, in terms of what I do. Because I feel like there's definitely more story going on in Edgewater. Because there's definitely a lot of continuations. Like, you do something or you find something, then you go back to talk to people you talked to before, and suddenly there's new prompts and new directions. It's looking like you definitely gotta talk to people more than once. I'm selling the floor out from everyone you encounter. Could be.
Some hullheads running around town talking about lost colony ships.
Yeah, who would do that? Shameful. Mr. Ouch. Yeah, so I'm curious. Now I need to talk to other people. I need to talk to the dentist. Also, the vicar has left town here as well. Ooh.
Talking to the good vicar always lifts up my spirits.
Are you still here? You're supposed to have gone away?
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
Okay. Well, I called him the dentist. He's the barber, not the dentist.
Don't go knocking your work.
What can I do for you? Go ahead.
What do you know about this plague?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
So what are the symptoms?
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
What you're describing sounds like a flu.
Whatever it may be, I have developed my own palliative. Boiled canid liver and a splash of ethanol.
So why don't you treat all of them?
Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
Whose idea was that?
Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. As the good vicar says, work fortifies the spirit of a man. If you want to feel exhausted, try not having any work.
Fair point. Alright. Okay, there's definitely something to this plague now. But you, again.
You've given me something to mull over. Thanks.
So where'd the other chick go?
Hmm?
worth a day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got...
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
Nothing new.
Go right ahead.
Talked about.
Carry on.
Hey, it's the visitor. Come back for another round?
How's the hand?
Numb to the bone thanks to Zero G Brew. Zero G Brew. It's an ale that's good for what ails you.
Spacer's choice.
Spacer's choice takes care of its own.
Okay.
Please, wander around. Touch things. I'm awfully contagious.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna.
I think we talked about everyone, so. Really like to hide things. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's the food that's causing... Well, everyone just getting the flu, but it's killing them.
Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had, and nary a word of complaint out of your clients.
You talk about Eugene?
Yeah? What about him?
You first. I know you buried him. I read a letter from Phyllis. She mentioned digging him for his gold teeth. You first. I know you buried him.
Well, yeah. It's what I'm contractually obligated to do. What's this about?
His solid gold teeth could be worth something if you pulled them out. Never mind.
Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead.
Alright, I'll keep an eye out.
Let me know if you find anything.
I found his teeth.
Yeah?
Which I've already sold. You lose a lot of people to marauders.
Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards.
There are fatal strains of influenza is not true. That is true, yeah. It says bounty on marauders.
No can do. This is my post, and I must defend it with my life. I heard you've been crossing off marauders for Reyes, though. Good on you.
Okay. Well, let's head back to... We'll get that thing I'm looking for. We won't make this decision yet. We'll save that kind of towards last. But I gotta find that thing. Plus I want to talk to that guy that was down at the bottom again. one in there. I can't reach. Oh, how did I miss this? I hate it when I miss stuff so easily. Another grenade launcher. It's the second one. Okay, well, we got that then. Well, yeah, I found the key. I found the key now. Missed the body on the other side. This game likes to just hide everything. I guess I'm slowly getting used to that. Okay, go back here.
Bring us honor, soldier.
Mention the logic module. I found one in the geothermal plant.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Level up. Nice.
War ain't over, not so long as a single mechanical remains unscrapped. Go on.
Okay, skills. Let's see. If we get this up to 40, there we go. So if I get this up, I can have weapon durability, loss, blocking. Okay, so I already have restricted items and vending machines. And I can already deal sneak attack bonus while crouched. If I get this up, I can terrify. I can scramble. 15% to automechanicals to slowly attack others instead of you for 10 seconds. Huh. If I add 4 points to this, I can add another and get another mixing slot. Field repair. that up. Parvati doesn't get anything yet. Okay. So I've got this shock stick, so now I can use this. Does 62 damage and burns. So I might do that. This is a better one than this. Oh, because this one's modded, I see. Does 54 damage. This one does more, but I'd have to mod it for the electric effect. Mods have a lot of weight to them. Okay, let's do this one. I originally thought the red was actually that I couldn't equip it. I mean, I don't think I could before because I wasn't level 7, but it's just means the fire effect. All right, well.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
Body's down here. Spacer's choice. Companion ability cooldown. Oh, it's this place. Am I kill all these guys? Didn't I kill some of these guys? Feel like I killed most of these guys. Oh well, you know.
And just beat the devil out of them.
I know that guy moves.
Look out!
Oh, hi. Apparently we can occupy ladders at the same time.
That's the last of them.
Damn, this thing owns. Yeah, the food effects don't do much regeneration.
Nicely done.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that hard. I just had to have the freaking tools to do it. It's not like picking the locks in this game is any challenge whatsoever. So just eating this doesn't do anything? No, nothing at all. 22 damage. This does 142. 58. The same. Provided you could use a better weapon, probably. I'll give you that. This guy's really moving. Hello. Getting a bit easier to cut through. Oi! Crap, they hurt. Abandoned settlement. Yeah, come on. What are you shooting? Oh, what are you shooting at? That thing tracks freaking shots. Apparently there's forbidden items in here, which I guess is this stuff. But I can actually sell now too. So most of this food doesn't do stuff. Well, it does, but... It does give a little bit of health back. Not a lot, though. These places are locked off. Well, this place is a dead end.
That beam for me. All right. Here we go.
Oh, there's a bunch of them in there. Holy shit. That was kind of a massacre.
And just beat the devil out of him.
We emptied this place out. That was the limit, apparently. Must just be picking up too much food. Well, the mods again are... putting a lot in me. Of course, these just weigh a freaking ton. That's another one down. Let's see what's up here. It's the only thing he uses a gun for. Clearing mines. I suck with a gun. I was pretty good. Have I been here before? Apparently not. Or have I? Oh, we're here.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Yeah, sure.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Let's sell some of this stuff. Might help take some of the weight off. Harmful status effects. I had a pristine weapon, but I wonder if I accidentally sold it or broke it down. I have. Oh, this is pristine. That. Now I'm feeling a bit more powerful. I want to go down there and clean that out. That nest that's down there. Pretty sure I looted this stuff, but maybe not. So easy to miss things. Is this place respawning?
Sure thing.
I'm pretty sure I killed everything here once already. You know, you actually gotta go out there and shoot it.
I'm ready for this.
Right, you.
Okay.
Nice one.
Pretty sure I cleared this place out once already. In fact, I'm sure I did, so they must... Or it's just for that quest. Oh yeah, this is that place. Wasn't there a workbench here? Maybe I heard a workbench.
I'm keen.
Yeah, good luck. Go for it.
We got this. Looks like we got a few of them. All right.
Yeah, good luck.
Let's end this quick.
I want the small ones to come out. the other one go?
Leave it to me. All together. Careful, you're hurt.
Oof. Old reliable. What is that? Old reliable, spacer's choice. Nice. This does 71. There we go. Cleared him out. Get all the goodies. Fitted heavy power armor. Heavy weapons and 5 to stealth skill. Well, there's definitely some decent weapons down here. This place. Hello?
Incoming! No messing. You got him!
I was actually just coming to see if there was a workbench.
Huh?
Oh, hi.
Nice hit! Everyone all right?
So it seems like they do respawn, which, I mean, ultimately is good. You can't run out of enemies. Hello.
Get ready!
Thanks, poor body. I need to drop shit off. Did I get them all? No, I still got... Oh yeah, I did get them all.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Nothing I can do about that.
Okay. Idle hands, spend time at the genitals, guys. Come on.
Something to report?
Got a bounty.
We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. He was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here.
Oh, okay.
Got any more fingers for me?
They revere me now.
Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all 3. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
Nice. My reputation with these guys is pretty stellar at this point. Hey Nina, well, your hands are too busy playing games, so you gotta use I gotta use mine. So what's this? Junior Deputy Constable?
You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
So how many of your people how did so many people end up as Marauders?
Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
We don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
Marauders are folk who lost the will to keep working, wandered out into the wilds and gave into their baser instincts. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy.
Yeah, I heard one of your workers shot himself. Eugene, I think.
Uh-huh. I recall young Eugene. Good kid. Nice smile. Fussy about his health, though. Took a little too much adrenatime. That'll do a number on your brain matter. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of adrenatime. What's on your mind?
I guess that's it. So there's no more bounties.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
We should keep our voices down.
Where's the workshop? We'll wait on that. I'll stash some of these mods because they're weighing me down pretty bad too. R. Transfer. These mods are just weighing me down at the moment. Although, maybe I shouldn't be storing this stuff inside Edgewater in case I cut the power off to Edgewater. Maybe I don't get back in. Still can't decide who I want to actually cut the power off. That seems like all I have left. Well, I guess it's decision time. Who's getting their power cut off? X stopped by to talk. You're back. Welcome back. Oh, I guess it's finally time to make that decision. Which makes me think I don't want to store my stuff in there like I did. Because I might not get it back. Depending on who I choose. Finger twitched. Well. I don't know. I'm actually having a bit of a trouble trying to decide who. Because Bravati makes a good point. There are actually a lot of good people in Edgewater. Of course, if I help them, I'm helping a corporation that's fucking people over. But the people at the greenhouse aren't exactly on the up and up. And I'm not entirely sure, you know. Do I save a few or do I save a lot? Of course, if I kill Edgewater, they might go to the Botanical Garden. If I don't. Made your decision? I'll find out what decision you made after I make mine. I'm gonna go talk to the guy in the basement, though. One last time.
What's eating you? The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
Alright.
Forgot what you were gonna say? Me too.
Nah, that's me all the time. Alright, well. Okay, well, decision time. What would Bob Ross do? Idea what that does. All right. Redirect power.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
Blatant disregard for Spacer's Choice property has been logged. Please report yourself to designated supervisor for an immediate reprimand. Thank you for serving Spacer's Choice. There we go. Made my choice. I chose Edgewater. How did I miss this? So Edgewater got the power. Going to check out the other group. Well, I mean, I have to go there anyway. I've got to get the power thing. I've got to get their regulator.
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for, even if they ain't care much for me.
Alright. Everyone's around the fire.
Home is where the heart is. Marauders took that saying a little too literally.
Hello.
What happened? Sprat fell into a transformer again?
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
It's totally his fault.
I don't know how much longer we'll last without power.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
We'll be fine.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand.
Wait, where's your leader? Is she down here to confront me? Yep.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
We need people back. This isn't personal, Adelaide. I need the Power Ranger. I don't owe you an explanation. Look. Well, none of these are actually the answers I want to give.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
Well, I'm willing to deal with him for you.
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos?
Little column A, little column B.
Or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
Well, I need some help convincing him.
Tell him what I have already told you. That I know the secret to bringing life back to the soil. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
You think that'll convince him to step down?
I have got a means to cure the plague. And I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms.
All right.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
Don't call me that. Thanks. Tell you what, we'll go deal with Reed. You know.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
Let's get crazy indeed. So we can either convince the deserters, return, or remove Reed from Edgewater. Best of both worlds, honestly. Hang on.
Where are we headed?
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
Spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here. I delivered the message, but I haven't convinced Adelaide to come back. Alright, well, she's not going to come back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
Did Change of leadership might be what this town needs. Your town's a mess, Reed. The town's terrified of the plague. Abernathy asked me to steal medicine for him.
I am not without compassion for Abernathy's predicament, but the plague has taken a hard toll on us all. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with the plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
The town doesn't eat anything but Saltuna. Of course you're gonna get sick. Do people ever eat an actual vegetable?
The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree? We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna.
Pretty sure it's your food making people sick. What exactly are you putting in the cans while we know? That's it? Saltuna every single day? Well.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
Well, I could try to lie. She's been using human corpses as her fertilizer. She grows crops with a special fertilizer.
And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly?
Dead bodies. Could have been taking them from your cemetery. Corpses, mostly human.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance.
Oh my god.
What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
I'm not in the mood to argue. If you want Adelaide's help, step down. The town needs Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here. I'm not in the mood to argue.
You're right. I am being obstinate. If the best thing I can do for this town is to stand down, then stand down I shall.
Really?
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do.
God, you're actually...
I won't stand in her way.
Reasonable.
My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
This can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You wouldn't last a day outside the walls.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
You don't have to do this.
I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs.
Guy's actually reasonable.
Where are we headed?
Well, I tell you, I didn't see that coming. Huh. Okay, well, we've done that. Reach Yeah, like I said, I wasn't expecting that. So, which one did you end up choosing, Dark Omen?
Look at that. The snake's come back.
Look, I talked to Reed into leaving.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Well, my reputation with the board went down, but... So you shut down Edgewater? I made a mess of things, guess I'm trying to set it right. Well, no, I think you're better off with you running the place.
You telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old
Don't make
cannery into a
mistakes here.
garden.
We just have
Got ourselves a
happy
whole
accidents.
cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
There we go. Everything turned out better than expected. So, now we've got everything, we just need to return to the ship. Good luck, everyone. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't expecting things to turn out. I wasn't expecting Reed to be reasonable. I was almost certain that this place would just revile me and open fire on me. And then I figured Edgewater was not gonna step down, so looks like we found a solution. The board wasn't happy with that, but we came up with something. So now I just need to get back to my ship. But I need to grab my stuff.
Town's been humming with power. Somebody must have been down in the old plant.
How am I not overweight carrying all this? Wait, how am I not overweight carrying this? I literally dropped all this stuff off because I was carrying too much. Actually, I wonder if I can get in, because there's that back room I can't get in.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
still here. Damn it. Oh, requires his key.
I already told you I'm leaving. Just give me a little while to collect my thoughts.
All right. What about you?
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Well, turns out Pravati was right. But yeah. No mistakes, just happy accidents. All worked out.
Wish we had some better rations.
Does anybody else have anything to say? You.
What can I do for you?
Guess we're done here. It's kind of funny because in the end, like at first it almost just seemed like, you know, I know the decision the game wants me to make. And then they kind of start feeding it to you a little bit differently, and then you're like, oh, I'm not quite sure, but it still seems like it should be obvious. Edgewater needs to be shut down. And then you do it, and then it's like, oh, it wasn't quite so simple. I still had more options. Well, it's finally time to go.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
I mean, I never actually said you could come along. You were just supposed to guide me. That job's over. And now you're just assuming you're coming with me. Well, you didn't seem happy in Edgewater. Jim.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
I feel like I'm building a crew from Firefly. Because we've got the Vicar, and now we've got our mechanic. Alright, well, you just trust me. Why would you want to go into space with a stranger?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Edgewater was on the verge of collapse before you showed up. You sent them power, and now the town might see another season. And you talked Miss McDevitt into coming back to town. Maybe one day, Edgewater will have a garden where that cannery once stood. You ain't exactly a stranger anymore. You've done some kindness hereabouts. I wouldn't mind following somebody like that.
Yeah, Moonfly? Could be. You want out of Edgewater that badly, huh?
Yeah, I really do. My whole life's been small. I realized that when you walked into town. I've been seeing the same faces every day, the same sky, the same stars. Then I saw this ship. This
Hey, look,
gorgeous,
I'm
stately
alive.
lady with her eyes turned skyward, and I made up my mind to come along with you.
Hey, Rick. 30 months of subbing. Thank you very much. And you are alive. It's been a while. I know you've been working a lot of afternoon shifts. How you been? All right, well, pick a cabin. Come along.
I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Parvati is precious, isn't she?
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Alright. Still can't put anything in these lockers. That's annoying. Alright, well.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain?
Well, I have the power regulator.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Alright. I shall return. Yeah, doing alright, just a lot of work. Am I liking it? The first day I had a little bit of trouble liking it. I didn't hate it, but it just seemed a bit like nothing special. Once I kind of started to understand things and get into it, started liking it more, and I do like it now. And we've got some... Well, we've got good old Bob Ross here. He's here to,
and just beat the devil out of him.
Yeah. Our melee Bob Ross. But you know.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
They said you couldn't make a perfect character mood and prove them wrong. Yeah, what did you end up picking? Edgewater or the other group?
I tell you what, let's have one more.
What can I do for you, Captain?
Alright, I've installed the power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Alright, let's do it. Against all odds, the Unreliable take flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Okay. Hey, XY, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't actually see you right away. Sent power to Edgewater and help the others get the current guy running out. Everybody wins except that guy. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I ended up doing that in the end, too. Very unexpected, but you know. I'm doing pretty good. Alright, I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
Well, I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Okay. You the only one that flushed Edgewater down the drain? Does not question it, yeah. Well, you know.
If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your brushes and your paints and paint along with us each show. I think you'll enjoy it.
Paints the canvas of battle with the blood of his enemies. Yep. Andy?
And just beat the devil out of him.
Fine, I'll have a word. What do I need? A nav key to land on a planet. So down, you're asking me to get involved in a black market. Or I could put a couple light years between me and Halcyon.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Yeah, but why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly.
Oh. Well, what's stopping me from just leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope.
Fine.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Well, I'll put it... You want to... Yeah, what is it?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
Okay. Moon's become crazy with power. All right. You won't actually fall for this? It seems far-fetched. You mentioned this thing has limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, They're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
What do I need a gadget for this? Couldn't I just steal a uniform or something? Good point.
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
How the hell does the hologram sweeten your breath?
Science, that's how.
Fair point. Alright.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
There we go. Okay, what do I want to keep increasing? Might be good to gain a few more points in stealth, which I'm losing because of the armor. Let's push medical up a little bit. Okay, what else? Additional ammo. Don't really need ammo. Take better care of your weapons and armor than most people. That might actually be good. Ability to fast travel when encumbered might be good. Durability loss might be nice. Vigor's got some points. Better health, threat generated, and he can add hacking. Sure. Let's go get that shroud. Hey. Do I have any storage in here? I do. Nice. That's exactly what I need. All this shit I don't actually use in here. Why just change my clothes when I can change my everything? Changes it to one the officer saw earlier. Let's see. Overall power. Just dump all this shit for now. Same with the mods. We'll get rid of them. Okay, that should be good. Holographic Shroud. Gives access to restricted areas, provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off limits to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. Okay, got it. Like that, you want the fresh breath. Yeah, see, that's a great thing to have. Hey, we're gonna take a bit of a nap. Lovely. Message for Alex Hawthorne. Hawthorne's unread messages. From Bedford. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing around your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Is that it? No, it wasn't. Other one's archived messages. Dearest Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor and that tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate you with the foreseeable future. By the way, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock Edgewater's landing pad and instead touched down in the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful, and I look forward to corresponding you with greater regularity. Your best friend, Udon. Oh dear. Subject, hello, hello. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard a guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivably rude to ignore the ardent, sincere messages of one's friends. Best, Udon, please respond. Dear Alex, hello, hello. I hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about the impounding mix-up. How could it have happened How could it happen a second time? Terminal is these days, I swear. Dreadfully unreliable. Aha, just like your ship. I hope you've given some thought to that thing we discussed, you know, about the Wells fellow. I'm so sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you already know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, it would be marvelous for our friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to seeing you again, Wingman. Your dear friend, Udom. Dear Alex. Hello, Udom here. Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship. My silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope that wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me, and I tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You're really quite the gentleman. If you're ever lost in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. Last Hope serves Spectrum vodka. Perhaps we could try every color? You know, really tie one on? Let me know, your friend, Udom. Is that everything? Sent messages. No subject. Look, there's no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many and might have knocked it off the desk. You know how that is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. I'm not telling you where Wells is, so lay off. Buy me a drink at the Last Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. Entry 1, tiled Shrink Ray. Note to self, remember this later. No better. ADA, remind Ada. Remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to my point. I saw in actuality, with my own 2 eyes, a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells' lab, just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray, but it wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I'd heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that push the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge, but I figure they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells' shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fella wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. Entry number 2. Captain's notes, hammer power. The last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the Lost Hope on Groundbreaker. Look, Udom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly, but subtly eavesdropped on 2 Mardits yammering about a mad scientist some years back who had claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us had ever heard that one before. But here's the good part. The Mardits said that the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something similar. Strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat? Sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons inspired by Wells. Captain's note. Black market leads. Why won't Wells just give me the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times. But architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet. And that even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I used to wipe out good, hardworking folks of Colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I have been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to the others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check the black markets merchants on Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Okay. Acquire Phineas's science weapon. Acquire a science weapon in Groundbreaker. Sounds like a good idea.
I so enjoy watching you sleep for hours on end, Captain. It's quite entertaining the way you drool and whimper.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
Remember, items in the hold may shift during takeoffs and landings.
Hey, to stop being a creep. Just kind of want to see what some of this other stuff is now that I get in here. What's this? The art and science of tossball. Impossible to put down. Order of Scientific Inquiry. Office of Literature. This endorsement has been approved. Auntie Cleo's Darlings. Signed by Seymour Whitlock, who held the record for most on-field fatalities for 3 consecutive seasons. Can I have this? Don't need it, but I'll take it. The Journal of Maximilian de Soto, Volume 1. The scribblings on these journal pages are utterly illegible to anyone except Vicar Maximilian de Soto. Doctrinal Studies 539 of Equity and Equations. These textbooks have been out of print for almost a century. The margins are filled with scribbled notes, and many passages have been underlined. Some pages come loose, and glue now yellowed with cracked along the spines. I'm just looking at your shit. Index of Banned Literature, Part 1, Various Qualifying Considerations, Part 2, Principal Rules of Restrictive Management, Part 3, Morals and Maxims of Banning Unethical Literature, Part 4, Proof of the Grand Architect and Predestination, a refutation of the titles listed here within. Part 5, Consequences, the Mind and the Will of Man when Led Astray. Part 6, Official list of banned titles. Part 7, Prerequisites for advancing the investigation, outing, and penalizing of offenders. Hi.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
I'd like to know something about who I'm flying with. What is your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Were they not religious?
On the contrary. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't they proud when you became a vicar, at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
What's this plan, anyway?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the Grand Plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter.
I actually zoned out.
The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
If you can't follow the plan, then everything you do is part of it, right?
The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
Fair point. Seems quite trusting of you to sign on without knowing anything about me.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
What if the book doesn't have the answers?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me.
It's in
What
French.
about you? What's your story?
Well, I'm an artist. I'm a thrill seeker and lover of great renown. I love a good adventure story. I want to talk about it. Well, I was also a colonist on the Hope.
And how did he do that?
He stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and thawed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now? That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
I had family on the hope, my friends are on the hope, just because it's the right thing to do. But I don't know.
Fair enough.
Tell me again about the book we picked up that's in French. Remind me, what are your thoughts on philosophy? Is any idea where you can find someone who speaks French?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Seriously, one guy in the whole colony can translate... Only one guy in the whole colony can translate French?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
Hang on, Captain here. I only get to be the smartass.
1,000 pardons, my good captain. I thought we were engaging in witty repartee. Now, as far as tracking down this scholar, we should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
How is it that a simple vicar happens to be a yeah.
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
Well, alright, sounds good, let's go.
Thank you, Captain.
Christ. Modern Steel Wrench and You. This book is heavily dog-eared and doodles in the margins. Mine. Banged up toolbox, full of modified tools with unique mechanical usages. Digging around in here would be an easy way to lose a finger to a sawtooth blade. If you give a few hand jobs. Stern older man with warm eyes. Photo of Parvati's father. Calm down there. First wrench Dad ever gave me. She's been my friend ever since. This is not a petunia. Petunia the plant. Isn't a petunia. Alright, Parvati. We need to cover some lies that are happening here. Okay, well, we have a few places to go. We could just go to Phineas's lab. Can we go there? Select destination, yeah. Welcome to the system map. Here you can see all the planets in the system, as well as some special points of interest that may have been discovered. You can fly your ship to any location that have been unlocked, though some landing bays require special codes.
Arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Okay. Can I go out there?
Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud.
Yep, I'm here. Took me a bit, but make sure the dot is under the people you want to take. Oh, okay. Well, it's not stealing.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself.
Do you need a hand with that?
Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor.
The hell is this, like bird shit? Keeping birds up here? What the hell? So apparently one of them's here. Hi.
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout.
For what it's worth, I appreciate you pulling me out of the Hope. Could have asked me before shoving me into an escape pod. Yeah.
Oh, Balderdash, you hadn't yet recovered your faculties of speech. What was I to do? Dear so-and-so, would you like to be shoved into an escape pod? Blink twice for yes? Still, I admit I may have been a touch hasty, even thoughtless. I do apologize if I rushed you.
You shot me into space, you lunatic. I'm lucky I survived it all. Yeah.
Nonsense. There's no such thing as luck. Only well-calculated margins of error. You survived that fall in 85 out of 100 simulations.
Halcyon is a cesspit. I'm starting to regret coming here.
Yes, well, you're stuck here with the rest of us. Halcyon's our cesspit now, and we're all circling the drain together. We can wallow in our collective misery, or we can try to make Halcyon a better place. I don't know about you, but I'd like to live in a colony that isn't marching toward oblivion. Of course. What's on your mind?
Sir, yeah, is there some reason you're hiding behind bulletproof glass?
Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
It's got the essentials.
Absolutely. Let's talk.
Don't you ever leave?
Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia.
It's not what I meant. There has to be something you do for fun, though.
I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my youth. Not anymore. All board propaganda. I'd rather not be brainwashed. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. This much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know.
So why are you obsessed with this? You must be hard to leave. Oh, good point. Must be hard to leave with a bounty on your head.
Yes, that troublesome bounty on my head. I've been a fugitive ever since the board caught wind of my research. My work is my life. The board can put a price on my head, but they can't scare me into stopping my research. Because we've lost our way, the board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you, people who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense.
Yeah, but you revived me. Need to work on your social skills. You mentioned needing some special chemicals. Is that why?
Precisely. The chemical I need is dimethyl sulfoxide, a rare, potent, essential to reviving long-frozen bodies. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it?
Alright. Don't try to be funny, it doesn't work. Alright, well, everyone's depending on us.
We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading.
Okay. Oh, experiment notes. I can calculate the movement of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of men. Oh my god. Oh, buckle in. Eureka! Flash frozen organic material reverts back to its original cell structure when treated with tincture of dimethyl sulfoxide. Rate of explosive cell death is very respectable, 6%. Bad news, difficult to acquire, limited quantities of compound, likely produced by Auntie Cleo. Recently discontinued due to severe adverse reaction. Must find more. Fresh out of Auntie Cleo's experimenting with Spacer's Choice partially emulsified creamer substitute. Finished brewing, adding 2 ounces. Spacer's Choice. Atrocious. Felt part of self die on the inside. Reminder, add Spacer's Choice to the list. Note to self, buy more mouthwash. Artificial stasis successfully induced in Cispig specimen. Revivification complicated. Cispig tissues returned to living state. Brain tissue suffered from rapid nucleation. Attempting treatment. Treatment progressing. Treatment failed. Brain tissue irreparably damaged by rapid onset necrosis. Explosive cell death. Finished cleaning liquefied remains of Cispig from laboratory floor. Walls, equipment. Cispig notes. Have spared one of my stock of experimentational Cispigs to be used as a renewable source of nourishment. Having named this lucky pig Bubbles, giving an animal a name establishes rapport and creates a positive emotional bond. Allegedly improves flavor of tumors. Must look into that. Excellent creatures, Cispigs. Don't know how people used to survive without these genetic wonders of porcine succulents. Slaughtering a pig for meat instead of harvesting tumors that ripen naturally, falling off the flesh like mock apples off a tree. Seems the height of barbarity. Truly a miracle of modern science. Personal files. Hack 20 bypass. Let's do it. Have procured the services of one Captain Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. I hope he doesn't name the ship after the quality of his services. I'll be sending my new accomplice down to Hawthorne via escape pod as soon as the revival process is complete. Hawthorne should make for an agreeable companion, or at least an acceptable chaperone. While willing, he isn't a total buffoon. Well, we saw how that went. Anything else on there? Nope. Alright. This. Dehibernation experimentation notes. Raising core temp another 5C over 1 hour. Dosage appears to be working. Slight diffs from process in cyst pigs, not beyond expected boundaries. Microscopic assessment shows no sign of sudden traumatic mast cell wall collapse. Encouraging. Reminder, still need to mop up pig. Need to get a view of cranium to see what's going on with neurons. Oops, hand slipped. Likely effects? Nothing important. May have numbness in left heel. Who needs that? Looking at sample, evidence of hyperactive production of dopamine and norepinephrine. Curious, no evidence of entropic effects on neurons, however. Very excited. Now if only can keep them from exploding. Raised core temp another 5 Celsius, 1 hour. Oops, forgot I had a probe in the brain, jostled with elbow. Subject may suffer numbness in right earlobe, acceptable. Feel ridiculous telling, mostly frozen slab of meat. You're doing fine, Bob Ross. Oh my god! I knew I couldn't feel my heel. Practicing bedside manner important, aids recovery. Curious about that neurochemical production. Side effect of prolonged hibernation? Subject may experience tachyphysia. Exaggerated fight or flight response. Checked brainwave. Found sharp uptick in perceptive cognitive processing when I jostled the probe. Fascinating. Equivalent to speed of common fly's brain. Could be useful in stressful situations. Subjective time dilation. See world moving in slow motion. Would everyone of Hope have this sort of brain damage? Or is it peculiar to Bob Ross? Can't wait to awaken more hope from Hope, study in detail. Is it even right to call this effect brain damage? Seems like enhancement to me. Who wouldn't want to call hyperfast cognitive Who wouldn't want an on-call hyperfast cognitive response? Am I envious? To expand the span of a breath to an eternity? To be able, just for a moment, to perceive the world in all its infinite detail? Core temp up, still stable. No sign of cell wall decay, neurological necrosis. Beginning next 5C over 1 hour cycle. Yes, I believe I do envy you, Bob Ross. Oh. Pick up hibernation helmet.
Your old hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting.
Spacer's Choice, 6 armor. Let's see this cis pig. Well, looks delicious. Cis pig hoof. These hooves are usually ground up and fed to cis pigs and woolly cows to supplement their diet. They are rich in protein and hoofy goodness. Hoofy goodness. Can I take this? Buy now. Why I'm taking these posters? Yeah, I can like put this stuff up. Apparently. Obscure body of SK system. Is this my pod? Wonder if you eat the tumors raw or deep fried. I would say probably deep fried. You gotta batter them up a little bit. Oh. It's alive. just get it. Science weapons are unique weapons that have strange and powerful effects. Science weapon damage and strength of their effect both increase as your science skill increases.
Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime.
Really? Gotta be level 9 to use it, though.
The cysty pigs make excellent test subjects. Also surprisingly nutritious.
So I guess you pass things through there. Okay, cool. I got a shrink ray. He really doesn't care that I just loot the shit out of this place. Oh. Beautiful baby. Reminder, mop up melted pig. Yeah. Imagine it got through the floor. Messages. Hack 20 bypass. To Blythe. Sending no response, no response, no response. Cause undetermined. Original message append. I worked it out. Explain details later. Will be difficult to reproduce. Need your help. All necessary materials should be present in Halcyon, but locations elude me. Dumped a new associate, Dirtside Terra 2, near Edgewater. They have a stake in my purpose, but trust them only about 23.7% at present. They're recovering a ship. Should be along any time. Just need to know where to send them. Let me know when you get this. Eager to be done. That's it. What? What were you saying? Damn it. $14. Remember this time. Absolutely vital. 14, 14, 14. Okay. Okay, well. I'm outie. Did he say 15? No, I think it was 14, 14, 14. Maybe. Possibly. So I've acquired a poster. So what can I do with poster? Oh, do I like put stuff up in here? Adelaide's deserters dreamed of an independent life without board oversight. You taught them an important lesson. Never dream. Fair enough. It's like, how do I... Oh, wait, they actually went up.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Oh, so they automatically, like, they automatically decorate. Here we are. There's no response from the automechanical unit. A serial number etched in the chassis includes the letter SAM. Okay. Sort of like the sign banner. Yeah, I think these are the posters I collect. That's one of the posters I collected, right? Yeah, here they are. So they do just automatically pop up. Neat. Oh yeah, because here's the sword I found. Nice, okay, cool. So I need to check something. Because I have another grenade launcher. This does 141. They're the same. Okay. So we go to the Groundbreaker. We can apparently find the other thing, but we need to go to the Groundbreaker anyway. So let's go to the Groundbreaker.
We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Anything to say?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
Oh yeah, know anything about the automechanical gathering dust in the janitor's closet?
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it. But I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate.
Ooh, I'm in the mood for entertainment.
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
Oh god, tell me a joke.
A neutron walks into a bar and asks, "How much for a Rizzo's rum and something?" Leering, the bartender replies, "For you, no charge."
God, it's like the bot in Fallout 3. Play me your favorite song.
Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice.
That's not my favorite song.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song. As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
I'd like to learn about the colony.
What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Alright.
Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most.
What do you know about him? Or why is that?
The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them.
Alright, what do you know about him?
There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system?
No, don't do that.
A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons. How can I be of assistance? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
Can we talk?
Sure.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Thought you said you could keep this boat in good repair. Are you going to leave my crew and join hers?
Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless, or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you.
I don't think she'd be much help. But if you happen to be along, feel free to speak up. Alright, well, we'll head over.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Did you learn your trade from your father? You sound like... Alright.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
I don't see the humor.
He meant funny as in odd.
Oh.
It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
Why would you be unhappy getting a maintenance job? One aptitude determines your whole life?
Well, they're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
Sounds like the goat. But you're actually good at this and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
After school, you moved straight back to Edgewater. You didn't like your classes. This has been interesting. Fine. You moved back to Edgewater.
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed. About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Alright. Let's go. I just very unceremoniously just dropped in here. Bob Ross is down.
Shoot, let's get crazy.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Wait, didn't you have to be in space to go to school, or was the school also on Terra 2?
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a trick.
Oi.
Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you.
What's up?
Going for a stroll around the docking base? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I heard you knock someone out with that tossball stick.
The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, alright? You can't just insult my Rangers and expect to get away with it. So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Some kind of fair-weather fan?
Rizzo's Rangers? You can pick more than one if you like. What, you can pick more than one companion?
Only the finest group of tossball players ever to take the field. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Got any plans?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Technically, the previous captain died in a horrible accident.
So your ship's got a dark and violent history? This is just too perfect. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
Never caught your name. I'm Bob Ross.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
Boss. No, Ross. Bob Ross. So wait, I can actually bring more than one person. Alright. Oh, you can. Yeah. You're all here.
Gonna head to Varus for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
Need you to, like, move. Yeah, everyone's watching me. Hang on. No one can see this. What? Get out of here. I'm not doing nothing. Go away. not stand on that stuff. Can close the door. Alright, nothing. Too many people around here.
So far as you know, I'm not drinking on duty.
I feel like this is leading me somewhere. Have I just skirted customs? Can't get out though. Claw rake. Hello. How long you been back here? Jesus. Oh shit.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Hey, what's up?
Identification, please.
St. Hawthorne's, here you go. My name is Bob Ross. It's my first time here.
You've got a ship, but you've never visited Groundbreaker. You must have just dusted off from one of those dirt-side outposts.
Sure did. And now we're in space.
Well, welcome to Groundbreaker. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get it resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker.
That guy.
His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why it was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
The guy that Hawthorne's best friend. Alright, well this has to be a mistake. I'm going to wring this Bedford's neck. Well, it's gotta be a mistake.
Not gonna lie, you're in a pickle. But Udom's an interesting guy. Might be y'all could come to accords if you play your cards right. Huh. Records show this ain't the first time your ship's been impounded. Seems to get cleared up pretty quick. You might not be in this pickle for long. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
What you need?
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay. Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
Looking for something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
How about something long term?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
How does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new.
You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
So the board runs most of the system.
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
So how does Groundbreaker fit into it?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
So there's actually a boardroom somewhere where all these companies heads in it.
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help.
Didn't think there were any independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
What do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. All right.
Oh, God. What can you tell me about Udom?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
Sounds like a fun guy.
Really likes his cereals, too. Maybe a little too much. Bit of a weird bird, all told.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Udom takes it to an, unhealthy level.
Well, I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go. On your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Wait, you have a fence here? Alright, what about drinks?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony.
Alright, tell me about the tensions.
You noticed, huh?
I'm sharp like that.
What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, They know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Yet your station's in a state of disrepair. Make the board fix it. Why can't Groundbreaker and board just work together? I'm glad it terrifies the bastards. Keep pushing them. Yeah.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could maybe fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing.
Okay. What does this also mean? What is this? Oh, history. Nice.
Be seeing you.
My God, there's so much shit.
Huh?
Quest objective requires you to enter a restricted area. If caught inside, you will be shot on sight. Using a disguise will prevent immediate hostilities.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that, Graham?
Asshole.
I don't have time for this.
All right, let's change our... daughter in the sick bay, huh?
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
You don't pay your docking fees, your ship gets seized. I seen it happen.
All right, well, here we are. Finally made it off world and made it here. Also, I need a bit of a puff. There we go. So we've got a crew, we've got our ship, and here we are. Bob Ross has made it here.
I tell you what, let's have one more.
So there we go. So we'll end it there for today. Bob Ross's adventures in outer space. Oh, but there we go. All right, so this little thing worked nicely. But yeah, so we'll continue on tomorrow. We'll progress with Bob Ross's adventures. It was kind of an interesting outcome. Again, like to deal with Edgewater like I did, you know, really wasn't expecting that outcome. Wasn't expecting him to be so like, yeah, sure, I'll leave. I thought I doomed some people, but it turned out to work out well in the end. But you know, as Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. But yeah. So, oh yeah, rats. So yeah, tomorrow we're getting a couple rats. Apparently, I guess one of her coworkers has some rats that need a new home. They're like 6 months old. We've been wanting rats for many, many years. And I guess, yeah, one of them heard she had been wanting rats. So we're going to get some. So there's going to be some rats tomorrow. Don't know if they're going to be here in the morning or if they're going to be here in the evening. But they'll be here tomorrow at some point. But yeah, so might have some rats to show you. But yeah, they're 2 boys, so we don't even know what we're naming them yet. Unsure. But yeah, though you told her she needs a pest control people. Oh no, rats are sweetest little creatures. I love them. The only downside to them is their lifespan is quite short. They only really last a couple of years. It's kind of the downside to them, but they're very sweet creatures. I used to love it. I used to love taking care of them when I worked in a pet shop. They were like some of my favorites. But okie dokie. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll play more Outer Worlds. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the sound clips. I'll see if I can get more now that I can kind of get this thing working. I can only put like so many more on the system, but yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow with more Outer Worlds. Have a great one, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night, everyone. Good night, everyone.